Fault lines of injustice, racism, and discrimination have been amplified since the emergence of COVID-19 over the past 6 months. Many young people across Melbourne's inner north have been active in protesting against these trends. These young people speak to hopes and aspirations for forms of cooperation and democracy, for youth representation, and for social justice across communities in Melbourne's inner north. There is hope here, in neighbourhoods, ecologies, in public spaces, and in diversity, and in speaking truth to power. Many of these young people ask the question, who is responsible?
Also, I feel like discrimination and racism are a really big problem within our society. I think that, although climate change and things like that are so important, discrimination is one of those things where it's really under the radar because it's ingrained into our society.
Recognition for Indigenous people as our First Nation people, and closing the gap in the disparities that exist there. We don't even have a treaty that in itself, it goes without saying that what they are facing every day is not right at all.
I hope to be living in 5 years' time. I hope to be living somewhere nice. I hope to be living by myself or with housemates or something, but probably along the coast, to be honest. I don't want to be living in inner city Melbourne. I feel like it's really bad for my mental health.
There will be a lot of mental health concerns. There will be a lot of financial hardship. There will be a lot of small business closures, unfortunately. And those that will come out on top will be the bigger organizations. And I really hope that's not the case. But the way that things are going at the moment with COVID-19 is just really sucky for everyone.
Because of COVID-19, I feel like we've been more forced to be aware of social issues more than ever. And I feel like that should be something that is properly addressed and real action taken.
My friends they pretty much all live northeast, so I haven't really been able to see them much, but I'm pretty happy to say that we are quite an ethnically diverse group of people. I think that's really great. It broadens my thinking so much. We have some really great discussions.
In addition, I hope women's rights continue to improve in countries such as Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, where girls are still having to fight for their education, their right to education, as well as, fight to just exist. I guess they're often put in danger from domestic violence. Their freedom of movement around their own country is restricted. So I really hope that situation continues to improve, as well as LGBT rights across the world. Obviously, in some countries, they face a lot more persecution than others, but I hope in 2025, we're living in a world where everyone can completely freely express their sexuality and their gender identity and have it not be a reason to put them in danger.
I love going out with my friends, so coronavirus has definitely taken that away from me. Dancing, listening to music, having fun with my friends is something that I spend every spare second that I can get doing. So luckily I live next to a really beautiful part of the Merri Creek, and I live around a lot of my friends, so I've also been able to see them and go on walks with them, which has made coronavirus a bit more bearable. I also have a part-time job, which is a bit boring, but I have a lot of friends at work. I just work at a grocery store in Fairfield, and I think that's been good to be able to be earning some money whilst I'm still in year 12 and studying. But I also do feel a little bit hopeful and thinking that obviously it's only 5 years in the future, but I'm 17 years old and I know that I hold similar beliefs to all my friends. And in 5 years in the future, we're all going to be able to vote, and the voices that we have are going to be a lot louder in a political sense. In a sense, to have the power to make changes. So, there's hope there.
In 5 years' time, there is more youth represented in politics. I think it's super important because it's our future that we're going to be living and leading. So I think it's really important that there's youth representation in politics.